The Phillies opened a can of whoop ass in Game 3 on the Houston Astros. Trending in the AM is all over it, and we're going to start talking about it in 30 seconds.
Holding gets around in front.
And Philadelphia has it.
And a very good morning, everybody. Welcome to Trending in the AM right here on DSM Media. We're live, Facebook, Twitter, Twitch, YouTube. You know the drill. Like, share, retweet, follow on all social media platforms. We'd greatly appreciate that. And make sure you do us a favor and hit the like button, the subscribe button, and all that, and the comments on the YouTube page. We're working on a great promotion right now over on the DSM Media YouTube page. When we get to 800 subscribers by the end of the World Series, we'll give away a Bryce Harper World Series patch jersey. If we get to 1,000 by November 27th, 2 tickets to an Eagles game. And we got other prizes. We got Eagles suite ticket prizes. We've got so many different prizes over on the DSM Media YouTube page. Make sure you tune in over on the YouTube page and hit that like and subscribe button and tell friends. If you want a chance at winning, we got to hit those thresholds. Exactly. Is it red November or is it still red October? I don't know. Twitter hasn't changed the little emoji thing yet, so it still could be one or the other. Guys, we're here to talk Phillies putting a whooping on the Houston Astros last night, 7-0 in the pivotal Game 3. And you're going to hear me talk about that a lot. Pivotal Game 3. We've heard the stats on TV. We've seen them online. I'll say it again. Almost 80% of the teams that go up 2-1 by winning Game 3 go on to win the World Series. And the Phillies didn't just come out last night and win Game 3. They put a whooping on the Houston Astros. They jumped all over Lance McCullers. Home run after home run. The stats, the records, the numbers that could be thrown out after last night. Insane. We talked about it yesterday that the extra day off because of the rain delay definitely favored the Phillies. And let me tell you something. Those Phillies, they came out last night. And I'm going to say it. It was because of the fans, not just the players. The fans showed up, and anybody that wants to keep talking about the Philly fans and the Philly faithful don't affect a game, well, they don't know what the hell they're talking about. Those fans, 110% play a factor. 47,000 screaming fans, not sitting. I don't even know why you pay for a seat. They never sit down. They're loud. They're up. They're cheering. They're affecting. They're chanting. They're doing this. They're doing that. The fans play such a crucial, vital role in the Philadelphia Phillies last night. But it wasn't just the Phillies, because the fans could be loud and the fans could cheer. But, the players still got to do their job. And damn, did they do that? Every single person in the lineup. Damn, is all I can say. 7-0, guys. Jumping all over Lance McCullers in the first inning. Kyle Schwarber comes out, gets on base. Hoskins gets on base. I believe it was Hoskins on base in the first inning with Schwarber when Harper came up. No. Schwarber, it was a 2-run home run from Bryce Harper in the first inning. And there was no doubt about it when Bryce Harper steps to that plate and swings at that first pitch. No doubt about it. Moonshot. Into the night. I scared my puppies when I jumped out of my seat. I'm exhausted. I'm still battling a cold. When Bryce Harper puts a bat on ball, I leapt out of my seat last night. Leapt out of it. And screamed. And my wife's like, shh, no, there's no getting quiet. No way. Lance McCullers, this guy that they've been hyping up how great of a postseason pitcher he is. Maybe not this year, but over his career. Well, postseason pitchers, and let's get into it, don't tip their pitches the way he was last night. And then you saw it, Bryce Harper, as soon as he rounded the bases, went right up to Alec Boehm and said something. What does Alec Boehm do in the next inning when he comes up? Boom bomb. I've been calling for it all postseason, waiting for that Alec Boehm bomb. Well, let me tell you something. Whatever Bryce Harper said, it worked because Alec Boehm smoked that pitch into the outfield, into the home run. And on a side note, guys, the Fox in dugout interviews, can we just end them? Do they not see how social media is bashing what they're doing? Nobody is enjoying those dugout interviews mid-game. Not the players, for damn sure. You see Alec Boehm get, oh, what did Bryce Harper tell you about Lance McCullers? You think he's going to tell you live on the air where somebody from Houston's watching and can signal into the dugout and fix that problem right away? No, they're not going to tell you. Those players don't want to be interrupted mid-game. At least in the NBA, when they do the sideline interviewing of the coach or a player, in a game, they do it during the commercial breaks and they re-air it. They don't do it while they're interviewing these players while pitches are being thrown. God, Fox, can you just hear what the people are saying and just stop it? Just stop it. No one cares. No one wants to see it. They don't. Guys, Alec Boehm, Bryce Harper. Alec Boehm, first off, that was the 1,000th home run in World Series history. Alec Boehm will now be a legend. He's immortalized in baseball history now that he's got that. No doubt about it. He is now immortalized. The 1,000th home run. Doesn't take long after that because you got the Boehm home run. Then later in the second inning, Brandon Marsh. Yes, the caveman. My wife wants to know why his hair looks like it's wet all the time or greasy as hell. I don't care. Guy plays a damn good center field, and he hit a huge home run. Put us up 4-0. I said it. Phillies in 5 is my predictions. I'm sticking to it. Yeah, Jason. I mean, the home field advantage, anybody that says it, that the Padres said it, the Braves, the coach of the Braves, Snedeker, said it, and the Astros were saying it again yesterday or before this series. The Phillies, yeah, they're loud, but they don't play that much of a factor. Anybody that says that has no damn clue what they're talking about. Not only does it rattle the pitchers for the opposing team, but those batters feed off of it. The Phillies hitters feed off the energy at the Citizen Bank Park. And let me tell you something. They're going to be loud as hell tonight. They're going to be itching to get all over this. Be loud as can be again tonight in Game 4. I don't know if it goes 5, and that's it. I would love to see it be over in 5. That would be like a really emphatic stamp that, we just whooped up on the best team in baseball. But they are the best team in baseball, realistically speaking. I said Phillies in 7. I don't know if it's going to go 7 now. I think they could wrap it up in 5, like you said, or 6 maybe. But, man, anybody that says the home field advantage does not play a factor, does not know what they're talking about. They don't know what they saw last night. They just don't have any clue whatsoever. And then after the Marsh home run, the offense kind of did what they do, and they kind of went cold for a few innings. And then the 5th inning, I literally tweeted out before the 5th inning, I tweeted out, guys, don't let your foot off the pedal. Don't let McCullers off the hook like you did, in that Game 2 against the Padres where we jumped all over them. And then we let them back in the game, and they ended up coming back to win that game because we kind of we throttled down a little bit. And then Kyle Schwarber hits a moonshot of all moonshots over the Corona sign, that the Corona sign doesn't actually exist. They don't. They don't. I'm sitting there, I'm like, oh, look, he hit it over the Corona sign. Then the next angle, it's not there. I'm like, goddamn advertisements in the middle of the screen. Damn. Loud and clear. They heard me. Oh, they absolutely heard me, Jason. Absolutely. I called it. Like, don't let it off. Then Kyle Schwarber hits the moonshot of all moonshots. And then, after that, Rhys Hoskins wants to get in on the action. Rhys Hoskins with another moonshot. 5 home runs in 5 innings. And John Smoltz loved to go out on a limb last night. We're really falling in love with John Smoltz tonight. Or this playoff run, aren't we, guys? John Smoltz has to go out on a limb and say, 5 home runs, 7 runs, Nobody in scoring. He's like, I'm going to go out on a limb. Come on, John. You're killing us. You're killing us with your love of the other team, your biased opinion. Obviously, you're brave. You hate the Phillies. I get it. But try to have some professionalism. Professionalism. And just call it as you say it. Don't slobber all over the opponent every single series. Please. Give us a little credit for hitting 5 home runs in 5 innings against a very good postseason pitcher. Come on, just a little bit of credit. Hey, I gave credit to the Braves back in the day when they were great. Absolutely. And Jason, I don't know how much you've watched this show. Oh, Jason. Thought you were a different Jason for a second. Never mind. Screw you. Jason. I just totally lost my train of thought. Didn't even realize who Jason was right there for a second. People forget what Jason's real name is. It's why I've said it time in and time out, time again, that playoffs in all sports, you want to have them on national stages, baseball, basketball, hockey. You want it on the national channels. You want to eliminate the local broadcasts. I get that. But that is why what all these networks should do. They can have their pre- and post-game shows with their national panels with Big Papi pandering to the fans with his jerseys. You could do all that. But what you need to do in the postseason, have your national play-by-play caller and then go grab Larry Anderson or Ben Davis or Ruben Amaro from the Phillies and then go grab whoever the Houston Astros color analyst is and put the 3 of them in the booth. That's what it should be. It should be one local from each side. When you're in the NBA, same thing. You should have Ala Abunabi or however you say his name, or Kate Scott, opposite of whoever's on the other opposing series for the Sixers. You should have local people that know their teams, because you could tell these guys don't know these teams. Honestly, John Smoltz barely knows the Astros too. It's crazy how these announcers are just so anti the Phillies. But the bats came alive. It doesn't matter how much was against the Phillies. How many people believed against the Phillies? I will say on a side note, JT Real Muto, you cost me a massive amount of money. I had a bunch of parlays in last night. In the first inning, almost everything hit on all my parlays. All you had to do was touch one base. One base and I hit one. You touch 4 bases, I hit for a shit ton of money. I want to give a little round of applause. Kind of went under the radar yesterday. JT Real Muto won his 2nd Gold Glove. There's a reason why he is the BCIB, best catcher in baseball. Won his Gold Glove yesterday, rightfully so. Secretly the MVP of this Phillies team. People won't give him the credit he deserves. But when Harper was down, he put this team on his back. Carried this team offensively. Continued to play Gold Glove defense all year long. That guy takes a beating behind the plate. We're going to get into tonight and Aaron Nola. We're going to get into it. And I'm feeling it with Aaron Nola tonight. I'm feeling it. We're going to get into it. But I got to finish last night before tonight's talk, because I wanted to give Rangers, or I want to get into Rangers first, but I had to give a little applause to JT, because not only he didn't get a hit last night, he screwed me on my parlays. I get all that. But he called a damn good game last night. Ranger Suarez. Is he a stud in waiting? We talked about it coming close to the end of the season on Trending the AM. Was Ranger Suarez your 3rd best pitcher on this team? And I was like, maybe, probably. But that was more because of Noah Syndergaard and Kyle Gibson and Zach Eflin. But because of the other guys that were in the rotation. Let me tell you something. Ranger Suarez has solidified himself as a bona fide stud, big game pitcher. Ranger Danger. I know Jason tweeted that out last night. Ranger Danger. Let me tell you something. I threw a few shekels on Aaron Nola as World Series MVP. Let me tell you something, how I see this playing out, guys. There's a damn good chance, if this goes 6 or 7, that Ranger Suarez is the MVP of the World Series if the Phillies win. Comes in relief in Game 1 of Aaron Nola. Locks down the doors, gets those 2 huge outs. Goes out last night and pitches 5 dominant innings. And let me get the box score up here real quick. Uh, Only throws 76 pitches last night. And you know what that's doing? That's setting up some things here. That's setting up that if he needs to come in 1 inning of relief on Friday, or what's today? Tuesday, Wednesday, on Saturday, he can. He might get 2 relief outings and 2 starts in the World Series. Ranger Suarez. There's a scenario in my head where the dates play out. Where, let's see, what's today? Today's going to be Wednesday. Tomorrow's Thursday. Maybe he comes in for 2 innings or for 2 batters tomorrow. If Noah Syndergaard gets into a little trouble, and then he comes in Game 7 if necessary. I'm telling you, Ranger Suarez, Zach Wheeler in Game 6. If you don't need him today or tomorrow, Ranger Suarez. No, Zach Wheeler goes in Game 6, and he only goes 4 innings, and you pull Ranger Suarez out of the bullpen again, gives you 2 more innings. I'm telling you, Ranger Suarez is going to be the MVP of this Phillies team if we win the World Series. Let me tell you, I questioned Ranger Suarez before the season started. I said, guys, the top 5 pitcher in baseball joke that was floating around. Guys, he had 10 starts coming into this season. They documented his journey to baseball last night a little bit. I mean, the guy was a journeyman kind of in our minor league system. He was the Nick Nelson halfway through last season of this team. Then something just clicked with Ranger. And you're seeing this kid develop before our eyes. And I don't care about the stats, the ERA or this or that. What I care about is last series getting guys on base, and he has the mental fortitude to power through it. Doesn't let 1 or 2 base runners rattle him. Comes out in the pivotal Game 3. We've talked about it. How pivotal Game 3 is in a best-of-7 series. It comes out last night. The world watching. Doesn't blink an eye. Not at all. Ranger Suarez is turning into, next year, he's locked up that number 3 spot in this rotation. It's already set in stone. I mean, we might go out and get another big name pitcher in the offseason. We'll deal with that later. But Ranger Suarez's development in this postseason is making Dave Dombrowski's offseason decisions so much more, simpler, because you know what you've got. Ranger Suarez will probably not win the MVP. Whether we win this World Series or not, he probably won't. It'll probably go to a Bryce Harper type. That's fine. I get it. Bryce Harper he's the man. I said it last night. To quote Harry Kalas about Chase Utley, Bryce Harper, you are the man. But Ranger Suarez deserves just as much credit for where this team is at this point, at the World Series, at this postseason, this season, and he's not going to get the credit he deserves. When you turn on talk radio, which you shouldn't, you should only be locked into DSM media. You should be listening to Trending in the AM in your car. But if you turned on the dial, which you shouldn't, but if you did, I guarantee they're talking about Bryce Harper right now. Or they're talking about Lance McCullers tipping his pitches. Which, if you go back, some people did put, screenshots, and I forget which one's which, but you could see his leg kick and his glove. On fastballs, it's at one spot, and on curveballs, it's at another spot. I don't know which one was which, but he was clearly tipping his pitches last night. The entire bullpen absolutely does deserve a shout-out. 100%. I mean, let's just look at last night. You had the scrubs last night. Ranger goes 5 innings. Then you get Brogdon, Gibby, Nick Nelson, and Bellotti. They go 4 shutout innings. And I feel like that's a common theme when we talk about the bullpen. Exactly. We won with those names. But that's not rare in this postseason, Chili. This is a common theme of the postseason. Topper seems to pull the right cards out every single time. I mean, we were up 7-0. You could kind of see the energy get zapped from the Astros in that 5th inning when we went from 4 to 7 runs. But you got Kyle Gibson out there. Kyle Gibson, I always say, I joke, Kyle Gibson's going to give you 8 innings of 1-run ball or 1 inning of 8-run ball. That could have snowballed out of control last night. Nick Nelson, we know what Nick Nelson is. Andrew Bellotti, though, I will say, and I'll talk about him in this offseason, he's earned himself a spot in this bullpen next year. Andrew Bellotti is a better pitcher than people realize. He's really figured something out. Some guys just figure it out at later points in their career. Andrew Bellotti, it's clicked with him. Just like it's clicked with Ranger Suarez, it's clicked with Andrew Bellotti. I don't get scared when Andrew Bellotti steps on the mound like other people. I just don't. And don't worry about Gibson. That might have been the last time you'll see Kyle Gibson pitch on a Phillies mound. Something really drastic has to happen this postseason for Kyle Gibson to be used again. That's just my opinion. But the bullpen, as a whole, like you said, unsung hero. Whether it's the top end guys like Alvarado and Dominguez, who didn't have to get used last night, which is huge. It's like Chili. It's like you're reading my mind. I'm saying it as you're typing it. Are you like is that my burner? You don't have a picture on there, Chili. That could be my burner account. I'm typing comments to make it seem like, people are doing it. No, I'm just kidding. A lot or Alvarado and Dominguez did not have to get used last night. David Robertson, yes, he is still a part of the big part of our bullpen. People are talking poorly, at least the national announcers, about him, but he still is a huge part of the back end of our bullpen right now. Another day of rest on that injury from celebrating. Let's hope he didn't jump up and down too much during all those home runs last night. They all got another day's rest. So they got the 2 days of rest, and then they got to rest again yesterday. Now, tonight, when Aaron Nola steps on the mound, we're going to get into the night in a second. If you need 1 2/3 out of Alvarado and 1 2/3 out of Sir Anthony Dominguez, you could go that way if you need to. You can do a lot of different things tonight. And we're going to get into tonight in 1 second, guys. Real quick. I got to pay a quick bill here. And basically what I got to tell you is today's show is brought to you by Gents Barber Lounge. Check out one of their 2 great locations in Fishtown and Old City and book your appointment today. They own the craft and it shows. Rated the #1 barbershop on Yelp in the Philadelphia area. Multiple award-winning barbers and able to handle any cut, style, adult, or kid. Check out this quick 10-second commercial. And we are back here trending in the AM on DSM Media. Make sure, like I said, guys, we got a lot of people watching on Facebook and YouTube right now. Make sure you hit the like button on YouTube and subscribe button on YouTube. If you're watching on Facebook, hit the like button and follow us there. Get your comments in. Let me know what you think of what's going on. This Phillies team is up 2-1 now in the World Series. This is just something, a little backstory to me, guys. If you're new to the show, if you're new to the channel, I've been doing podcasting for a couple years now, little weekly things here and there, jumping around different networks. My dream was always to do a morning show. And the reason was to talk Phillies every single day because that's the long everyday thing. And honestly, we're almost at a year of trending in the AM, almost 1 year since I started this show. And a year ago, I would never have thought that we would be talking Phillies up 2-1 in the World Series. I just didn't. I'm the first to admit I was wrong about this team. But here we are about to break down tonight's Game 4 with Aaron Nola on the mound. Up 2-1 in this World Series. Guys, I don't care how sick. Dude, I've had this box of tissues for a week next to me. I'm sick as a dog right now. Been for a while. I'm tired. Work is kicking my ass lately. I don't get paid for this thing yet. I mean, if you want to, help me get the subscriber count up. Help me get the views up on this show, people. Maybe I could get paid for this someday. But till then, I still got to go to work and pay the bills. Dude, I never would have thought we'd be talking on November 2nd that the Phillies are up 2-1 in the World Series. I am so excited. I slept so well last night, cold and all. I just went to bed so happy based off of last night's game. It just brings joy to me. And it brings joy to a lot of people in the Philadelphia region when the Phillies are winning. Everyone that says it's a football town, let me tell you something. On Thursday, the Phillies are going to go head-to-head against the Eagles. The Phillies will be on Fox. The Eagles, for those that don't know, they did announce it last night. PHL 17, if you want to watch the Eagles game, local market, that'll be the channel. Outside of the Philadelphia area, it'll be on Amazon Prime as all Thursday night football games on. Let me tell you something. My TV's going to be glued to Fox. When Jason joins me and we break down Friday, trending in the AM, I'm going to box score breaking down the Eagles game. I'll probably watch 5 minutes of the Eagles game total. Commercial breaks, pitching changes. That's it. My TV will be glued to Game 5 of the World Series. Whether whether it's a 2-2 if we lose tonight, or if it's 3-1 and we've got a chance to close it out, I don't care. My TV will be glued to the Phillies game because it's exactly this. It's surreal. It really is. For us older people, I mean, I'm 41, almost 42 here. We've only been to the World Series a handful of times in our lifetime. The organization, 120 years in the league, one of the original 8, has only been to 8 World Series. We're talking 120 years. We've only been to the postseason 16 or 17 times. This is one of the hardest teams to be a fan of, and we're there. We're 2 wins away. We've got to go 2-2 in the next 4 games, and we will have a World Series championship to add to our trophy case. It's an amazing feeling right now. Yeah, even in the wild card, when you got to go up against the Braves and the Padres, you just don't see it coming. So anyway, how do we get there? How do we get to that World Series championship? Well, it starts by Aaron Nola coming out tonight and doing his job. He's going on short rest, and I've got his splits on ESPN up on my screen. We're going to get into them, but it's kind of weird because I don't know. I wish I could find. I only had like 20 minutes this morning, set up the show and get going live. I wanted to look up his numbers on short rest. So if statistician Kyle, if you're still watching, JC, if you're watching, if you want to find any of his numbers while I'm talking here, I don't know how he's done on short rest, how many times he's pitched on short rest in his career. Can't imagine it's been many times. So there's probably very little data out there on Aaron Nolan's short rest. But Aaron Nola, this is a guy that's been questioned, doubted, bashed, all those things by me at times in his career. I said it before the season started. This is not 2018 Nola anymore that's going to win a Cy Young. It's a different guy. But he had a damn good season this year. His strikeout to walk ratio, I think it was the first pitcher ever to go have over 200 strikeouts and less than 30 walks. Something crazy like that. Aaron Nola was a big game pitcher this year. Even his September woes, he only had one. I think he's on 1 day less of rest, I thought. I'm trying to think. I thought he was going on short notice here. He's pitched better at home. We know that. Maybe I'm just thinking of the short rest that if he has to go again later in this series, it'll be short rest. But so people saying he pitches better at home and away, I think it's negligible, really. He's actually got a higher ERA this season at home than on the road. He's pitched more innings on the road, struck out more batters, but he holds batters to a lower batting average at home than on the road. So I think the numbers are negligible in my opinion. Yeah, this is his 5th day. I don't know why I thought he was on short rest tonight. Maybe I'm still thinking about how originally it was going to play out. Look, Aaron Nola tonight needs to put Game 1 behind him. We all know what happened in Game 1. He did not have his best stuff. He got beat up a little bit. He just did. He gave up the home runs. Look, one thing that we've always talked about is that Aaron Nola gives up those home runs. But typically he gives them up with nobody on base. He gives up, he pitches to contact and, he'll give up a couple home runs. Normally there's no one on base, so we survive. Well, we need him to do better than Game 1 of the World Series, and he's pitched pretty well in this World Series or in this playoff run up to the World Series. For all the September struggles, we were calling him, October Nola, and stuff like that. He can. Yeah, he struggled with his command of his fastball. And he needs to have that fastball command. He's never going to be that Zach Wheeler 97-mile-an-hour pitcher. You know, you look at Ranger Suarez. You can win though in baseball if you know how to pitch with what you've got. Ranger Suarez. I don't think Ranger Suarez ever topped out at 93 last night, but he knows how to get it up and in on the hands of the right-handed hitters. He knows where to locate it. Yeah, locate and dominant. Can he do it? That's the question. And that's what tonight is going to come down to is can he locate his pitches? Can he I'm trying to pull up another box score thingy here as I'm talking if you're worrying. He just needs to be better. Plain and simple. I'm going through his playoffs. His game against, St. Louis in the wild card round, dominant. His Atlanta game, dominant. But in that Atlanta game, we had a lot of run support for him. The Padres game concerns me. He's given up 4 home runs in his last 2 outings, and that's what concerns me. And he does. He goes in waves. He goes in stretches. I don't think he's had 3 bad starts, though, in a row this year. And that's kind of what I'm banking on. I'm looking at his game logs as we're talking here. Every time he's had a bad outing this year, 5 runs, then follows it up with a shutout. 8 runs, then he went 1 run, 0 runs. 4 runs, shutout. 4 runs, shutout. 5 runs, 1 run. 5 runs, 0 runs. So far this year, he hasn't had long stretches where he's been really bad. So, in theory, that should turn him around and come out tonight and pitch really well. And let me tell you something. As we start the show talking about the crowd and the energy and the home field advantage, Aaron Nola will come out tonight, and that home field advantage will fire him up, will hype him up. Now, for the Astros, I don't know much about this guy. He's 25-year-old Christian Javier. Now, he's got a 2.54 ERA on the season, struck out almost 200 hitters, got a sub-1 whip. Damn, this guy's a pretty damn good pitcher. He's pitched twice in the postseason, once out of relief in against Seattle, and he started 1 game against the Yankees and pitched 5 1/3 shutout innings. Let me tell you something, though. This guy in the regular season, he's had months of 0.4, 1.35, 2.93. I mean, he had one slightly bad month of July where he had a 4.5 ERA. But this guy's been dominant this year. Now, I don't know a lot about him. I don't watch a lot of Astros, baseball games. He's saying Aaron Nola is due for one of those 7-9K shutout. That's what we need, for sure. Runs are going to be we're not going to have 7 runs, 5 home runs tonight against Christian Javier. They're going to be working on Christian Javier in the Astros, make sure nothing's tipped off, to make sure, everything is, that they're ready to go. I just can't see the Phillies being able to get 7 runs tonight. So what they need is Aaron Nola to come out, put those 2 starts behind him, continue that narrative that he is an ace quality, a 1B to the 1A of Zach Wheeler. And we know what's going on with Zach Wheeler. Fatigued, arm fatigue, tired. You can't count on Zach Wheeler for Game 6. We need Aaron Nola to come out and put us up 3-1 tonight so that maybe Zach Wheeler doesn't have to pitch again this postseason. Zach Wheeler, I said it, I think they're duct taping him together. I think you're going to find out after this World Series, whatever the results are this World Series, I think you're going to find out a week or 2 after the season, after the parade down Broad Street. That's what's happening. That Zach Wheeler is going to have to go into the knife. I think something's wrong there. Maybe not Tommy John. If he was having Tommy John surgery, he would already have been shut down. But something's wrong there with that arm that they're going to have to go and do some work on it, because the fatigue has been there before this year, but the drop off has been so quick and swift. Something's wrong, in my opinion. So Aaron Nola tonight, it is so important. There's so much pressure and weight on Aaron Nola's shoulder and arm tonight, because if we can go up 3-1, you could start Noah Syndergaard. If he can go one of those 7-inning, 9K games, you could get through tonight with 2 innings. Maybe he goes 6 innings. 3 innings, just use Alvarado and Dominguez out of the bullpen, win a game, and then you can go into tomorrow night with Noah Syndergaard, get you through 4, and then piece the bullpen together, and you can lock this up tomorrow night. We'll get into tomorrow, but I'm sure there's some statistics against. I'm sure Noah's pitched against the Astros, having pitched with the Angels earlier this year. We'll get into that tomorrow, but Aaron Nola has to be that. We talk about big game pitcher Ranger Suarez last night, came up huge in the big moment. We need Aaron Nola to be even bigger. I don't want 5 innings of Aaron Nola tonight. I want 7 innings. I want 6 2/3 innings. 6 2/3. Alvarado comes in to get the last out of the 7th inning, pitches the 8th, Dominguez the 9th. That's what we need. We need a game, which it'll be. Last night was so stressless. You're up 7-0, you're cruising, you're not worried. Tonight's going to be a stressful night. It's going to be one of those 2-1, 3-2 type games. It's going to be tight. It's going to be a nail biter. But we need it. We need Aaron Nola to be ace Aaron Nola. Yeah, it might be tendonitis with Zach Wheeler. I don't know. But it's not just tired arm. There's something going on inside there. And let's hope it's not serious. Let's hope it's not a major surgery that keeps him out well into next year or anything like that. But something's wrong with Zach Wheeler. And we know the narrative of Zach Wheeler when he came over to Philly, when we gave him that big 5-year contract, was can his arm hold up for a whole season? And it's unfortunate. We don't get to this point this year without Zach Wheeler being the dominant pitcher that he is. But Zach Wheeler hasn't been the same Zach Wheeler of last year, all year. We've questioned. He's had to battle a lot more this year than he did last year. And he had to take a month off or a couple weeks off this year because of this arm fatigue. And they gave him a little extra time because of it. It's so crucial because of what's going on with Zach. If Zach Wheeler was healthy, we wouldn't even be talking about it. I mean, it would be a big game for Aaron Nola, but if he loses it, then you got Zach Wheeler tomorrow, blah, blah. We'd be talking like that because you have that great 1-2 punch. But because you can't have any confidence in Zach Wheeler coming out. Like, if Zach Wheeler I see people saying that if we go up 3-1, you throw Zach Wheeler tomorrow in game 5 because it's the winning game. I don't have the confidence to put Zach Wheeler out there right now because something's off. Hell, I'd find a way to not use him in game 6 if I know you can't shut Zach Wheeler down. If he can go, if he wants the ball, you got to give it to him. But Zach Wheeler is, to me, almost another bullpen game to an extent at this point. Like, you got to think that if you can get 3 or 4 innings out of Zach Wheeler and 65, 70 pitches, that's a win. That's why all this that we're talking about tomorrow and game 6, if it happens, is why tonight with Aaron Nola is so critical. And guys, everybody going down to the park, it's all on you. Got to be loud again. You got to be raucous again. And in a good way. Like, not hearing any stories of the Philly fans, the Philly faithful being rude or wrong or awful. On a side note, that pizza shop that refused the catering order from the Astros, Houston, if you want anything, I'll cater for it. I don't care. I'll give you whatever you need. I need the money. But that was a hilarious story that got blown out of proportions because the pizza shop that turned down the order is actually closed on Tuesdays. So they turned it down because they weren't scheduled to work. That would just throw the whole routine off anyway. That's another whole side story. All this talking straight through here. Yeah, I'm parched. I'm parched. So what happens tonight? Do we get the win? Do we do what's necessary? Look, first and foremost, Brandon Marsh, Grayson Stott, I don't care who's pitching, what games, the rest of this World Series, they better be in the starting lineup. And you got a righty on the mound tonight, so they both should be in the lineup. Marsh, Stott, both had great games. Stott didn't have any hits last night, but, still played great defense. Brandon Marsh, outside the home run, still great defensively as well. Big hit there, too, in the game there. When McCullers was settling down, he gets that big hit, gets on base for Kyle Schwarber's home run, kind of changes things a little bit there. Changes whether you need Alvarado or Dominguez being up 4-0 versus 7-0. They should be in the lineup every night, no matter who's on the mound, and that's obvious. But whatever Topper does, pulls Aaron Nola what we think is too early, or this or that, we are not to question the man, Rob Thompson, Topper, because he's pulled every punch right, every single punch right this entire postseason run. We should not question him. Whatever he does, I'll question him. I will, but we shouldn't. Hell, if you pull Aaron Nola at 70 pitches tonight for whatever leverage situation, just think if Aaron Nola only goes 70 pitches, he can pitch again in a couple days. Sure, why not? You might need him. So we're not one to question. We questioned all the things with Ranger and his pitch counts and being used in the bullpen. Topper's managing to win every single game. That's it. He's not worried about tomorrow, and that's how he's going to keep managing it. He's going to be the aggressive manager that he is in the postseason. You can be the conservative manager during the season, get to the playoffs, but then once you get to the playoffs, manage a different style. So, hey, I was wrong about Rob. He's earned the respect that he is going to get. No doubt about it. Hell, if Bryce Harper's not the MVP, if Ranger Suarez is not the MVP of the World Series, maybe Rob Thompson should get the MVP of the World Series. So do they win tonight? The lineup will be the same. You got Christian Javier, a damn good young pitcher. I can't say that I've seen him pitch. I will see him pitch for the first time tonight. And we've got to be, I guess, selectively aggressive at the plate, if that makes sense. I want them to be aggressive at the plate. And we saw the numbers last night. Kyle Schwarber and Bryson Stott, they're two of the top 5 in pitches seen in the postseason per plate appearance. You let those guys be their patient self, get that pitch count up, and then just let Harper and the other boys go up there and just mash, be aggressive. You know, it's crazy the numbers that they were throwing up there about Harper swinging at first pitches last night. It's crazy. I as they say it, I'm like, it makes sense, but I never actually put the 1 and 1 together there. So I'll give a tap ball. I had a little tip of the cap to that Fox announced team. They did one good thing, brought up that Harper aggression thing. But do they win? It's going to come down. It's not going to come down to one of the offensive players. Do they win? It's going to come down to Aaron Nola. If Aaron Nola can get through 6 2/3 tonight and give up 2 runs or less, we win this game. If Aaron Nola goes 5 or 6 2/3 or 4 1/3 and gives up 5 runs again, we do not win this game. Again, the back end of the Houston Astros bullpen, we didn't see it last night because of the win and all the runs. The back end of that Houston Astros bullpen is damn good. One of the best ever. I mean, it's just great. So we need to be able to have the lead, even if it's a small lead, as long as possible to get to our back end guys. So I'm just going to go out on a limb and say that we do see 6 2/3, 2-run ball from Aaron Nola tonight. Phillies win 4-2. I think it sounds like a good score. Why not? I think that's the way it's going to go. Phillies win 4-2. Yeah, I like that one. I kind of just guess these things as I go here, as I talk it out. Yeah, that's where I'm going to roll with. I'm going to go roll Phillies 4, Astros 2. We take the commanding 3-1 lead and hopefully wrap it up on Thursday night so we could just celebrate all weekend long. So that'd be great. I got a Halloween party to go to on Saturday night. I don't want it to have to be, game 6 or whatever, so I can actually have fun at the party. We don't need the Union having to compete. The Eagles will be competing for eyes on Thursday. The Union will have to compete for eyes on Saturday if we don't wrap this up in 5. So let's get the win tomorrow or tonight. Worry about tomorrow. Let's wrap up this trending in the AM right here at this point. Again, trending in the AM. We're only going to go 45 minutes. I got to go to work. I got some catering orders to do today anyway. No point in talking Sixers tonight. Who play? No point in talking the NFL trade deadline at this point. Eagles made no moves. There was actually a lot of moves at the deadline. Maybe we'll get into it later this week or next week when the World Series and baseball's over. But the Phillies have to keep my focus. So 45 minutes of Phillies talk is better than 60 minutes of Phillies and Sixers and Eagles talk. So we'll just leave it there because we're painting this city red and we're enjoying it. I got my champ shirt on again. I think I've worn this shirt now like 10 times in the last 3 weeks. So let's keep it going. 4-2 Phillies will win tonight. take a 3-1 commanding lead. Again, if you're watching on Facebook, like and follow the DSM Media Facebook page, Twitter, retweet, follow me at Bearded Knowledge or the DSM Twitter account. YouTube, that's the one that matters. Make sure you hit the like and the subscribe button. Even if you're watching this on replay, drop your comments. I'll still see them. Make sure you hit the subscribe. Even if you're watching on the other platforms, head over to the YouTube page and subscribe. We're giving away a Bryce Harper World Series patch jersey. Got to get to 800 subscribers by the end of the World Series. So go over there and do that. We're giving away Eagles tickets. If we get to 1,000, 1,500, 2,000 subscribers, different level of tickets. Upper bowl tickets, lower bowl tickets, sweet tickets. So you got to go over there and hit that subscribe button. Greatly appreciate it. Everybody have a great Wednesday. It's a winning Wednesday. I feel a win coming. It's winning Wednesday here on Trending in the AM. The Phillies win last night, Game 3. Will win Game 4 tonight. And we are going to lock this World Series up. And we are going to party harder than ever before. Everybody have a great day. Again, for Trending in the AM, I'm Phil Stifle, your host. We'll see you tomorrow morning, 8:30 a.m. Don't miss it.
And Philadelphia has it.